You spent 12 years in school just to be legally trained into lifelong debt. And the terrifying reason they skipped teaching you money is finally leaking out. Did you ever sit in high school geometry class, staring at the chalkboard, wondering when you would ever use a sine wave in real life? Meanwhile, no one taught you how taxes actually work, how credit card interest compounds, or how inflation secretly steals your savings every single night. Have you ever wondered why the one thing driving every major decision in adult life is completely left off the school syllabus? Is it just an outdated education system that forgot to update its curriculum, or is there a much deeper, intentional blueprint at play? Today, we are opening the financial vault to uncover why the school system was never designed to make you rich. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, the final reveal about who actually benefits from your financial ignorance will completely change how you view your entire upbringing. To understand why schools ignore money, we have to travel back over 100 years to the birth of modern public education. During the Industrial Revolution, powerful industrialists and factory titans funded the restructuring of the public school model. They did not need a nation of independent thinkers, creative entrepreneurs, or financially free investors who could leave whenever they wanted. They needed punctual, obedient, and predictable factory workers who would follow instructions without questioning authority. The entire system was engineered around factory floor mechanics, utilizing loud ringing bells, standardized tests, strict schedules, and punishment for disobeying rules. When you train a child for 12 years to sit still, ask for permission to use the bathroom, and memorize facts for a test, you are not raising an investor. You are building an employee. Think back to how grades work in school. If you follow instructions precisely, memorize the textbook, and get an A, you are rewarded. But if you try something unconventional, fail, or make a mistake, you are penalized with a failing grade and labeled as careless. In the real financial world, however, wealthy individuals build massive fortunes precisely by failing forward, taking calculated risks, and learning from mistakes. The traditional school grading system deliberately conditions your brain to treat mistakes as dangerous failures rather than valuable lessons. It conditions you to trade your precious time for a steady, predictable grade, which later converts into trading your life hours for a fixed hourly wage. You are subtly trained to seek financial security inside a corporate bubble rather than creating true financial freedom through asset ownership. The moment you graduate high school or college, the financial world throws you directly into deep water without a life jacket. Before you even secure your first full-time job, financial institutions eagerly hand you credit card offers and thousands of dollars in student loans. Because school taught you complex trigonometry instead of how high interest rates compound against you, you treat available credit line as personal wealth. You begin buying expensive gadgets, leasing new cars, and swiping cards for weekend dining that you cannot truly afford. Before you turn 25, you are trapped in a high-interest debt cycle that consumes your monthly income before it hits your bank account. You become legally tethered to a 9-to-5 job not by choice, but purely to survive monthly minimum payments. Did your high school teacher ever explain what happens to a $100 bill left under a mattress for 10 years? Most people assume that keeping cash in a standard bank savings account is the safest possible financial decision you can make. What school completely fails to explain is the invisible, relentless force known as currency inflation. Every single year, central banks print more currency into existence, dilute the money supply, and cause purchasing power to slowly evaporate. That $100 sitting in your savings account might still say 100 on the paper bill, but its actual ability to buy real goods drops every single year. By avoiding financial education, you unknowingly store your hard-earned labor in a melting ice cube that gradually vanishes while you sleep. From the moment you wake up and scroll through social media to the billboards you pass driving home, society bombards you with a singular message: consume. Without baseline financial literacy, your default psychological response to making money is spending it immediately to maintain an image of success. You are systematically sold the illusion that buying luxury clothes, state-of-the-art smartphones, and fast cars makes you wealthy. In reality, purchasing depreciating assets simply makes corporations richer while leaving your personal balance sheet completely empty. Schools teach you how to read literature and analyze historical dates, but they never teach you how targeted marketing manipulates your psychology. You end up spending money you haven't earned on things you don't need to impress people you don't even like. In his iconic financial teachings, author Robert Kiyosaki simplified wealth building into one basic fundamental rule: learn the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset puts real money directly into your pocket whether you work today or not. A liability takes money out of your pocket every single month without fail. Most adults spend their entire working lives mistaking heavy liabilities for valuable assets, such as buying brand new sports cars or over-leveraged houses. Because school never taught you to analyze a simple financial balance sheet, you continuously accumulate items that drain your cash flow. True financial literacy is the ability to recognize this boundary and direct every extra dollar toward purchasing income-generating assets first. Albert Einstein reportedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. Yet, public schools dedicate years to complex calculus while skipping the simple, life-changing math of compounding returns over time. If a 20-year-old invests just $5 a day into a low-cost index fund, compounding turns those small deposits into millions by retirement. But because young adults are never shown these exponential growth curves in high school, they miss their most valuable asset: time. Every decade you delay starting your investment journey drastically reduces the exponential wealth curve you could have built effortless. Have you ever wondered why top billionaires pay a lower percentage in effective taxes than hardworking middle-class employees? It is not necessarily because they are breaking the law. It is because they understand a tax system designed by business owners. Schools teach students how to fill out a standard W-2 tax form as a regular employee, where taxes are automatically deducted from your paycheck before you even see it. However, the tax code is actually a series of financial incentives written to encourage business creation, housing production, and job growth. Business owners earn money, spend on qualifying business operations, and pay tax only on whatever net income remains. Employees, on the other hand, earn money, get taxed immediately, and are forced to live on whatever residual amount is left over. When you combine zero financial education, high monthly consumer debt, and reliance on a single paycheck, you create the classic rat race. You get up early, drive through dense traffic, work 8 to 10 hours at a desk, receive a paycheck, pay your bills, and repeat the exact cycle again. If you receive a promotional pay raise at work, lifestyle inflation kicks in, and your expenses instantly rise to consume the extra income. You upgrade your apartment, buy a newer vehicle, and end up just as broke as you were on a lower salary. The school system successfully prepared you for the daily routine of working hard, but it failed to teach you how to make your money work hard for you. When you deposit your hard-earned money into a traditional bank, do you think it sits safely inside a physical vault waiting for you? In reality, banks operate under fractional reserve principles, keeping only a small fraction of cash on hand while loaning out the rest. They take your savings, pay you a fraction of 1% in annual interest, and turn around to loan that money to homebuyers or credit card users at 8 to 20%. The bank generates massive profit margins using your capital while offering you virtually zero protection against loss of purchasing power. The financial system relies heavily on the general public never asking basic questions about how banking infrastructure actually functions behind closed doors. So why doesn't the public education system pivot and start teaching every student how to build scalable businesses and make smart investments? Because modern industrial economies depend heavily on a vast, predictable labor force to maintain essential operations, utilities, and corporate functions. If high schools taught every 18-year-old how to build online cash flow, launch e-commerce stores, or invest in rental properties, corporate labor markets would experience immediate shortages. The economy requires millions of people to fill standard worker roles every single day to keep society functioning smoothly. Therefore, true financial literacy has always been a personal responsibility, a secret curriculum you must actively seek out on your own initiative. The first essential step to escaping financial trap is shifting your core mindset away from consumerism and toward capital accumulation. You must stop viewing money as a tool to buy material items that impress casual acquaintances and start viewing it as freedom capital. Every single dollar you save and invest is like hiring a tiny virtual employee whose sole job is to work 24 hours a day to make you more money. When you look at money through this strategic lens, buying an expensive pair of designer shoes suddenly represents trading away dozens of future money-generating workers. Once this mental shift permanently takes root in your mind, your financial choices change instantly, and your net worth begins to build momentum. Since public schools will not teach you personal finance, you must build your own private curriculum starting today. Modern history offers incredible access to elite financial minds through books, podcasts, mentorship programs, and high-value online content. You can study real estate investing from master practitioners, learn corporate financial analysis directly from hedge fund managers, and master sales psychology from world-class entrepreneurs. The resources needed to achieve complete financial independence are readily available right now on the device sitting in your hand. The fundamental difference between financial freedom and lifetime debt is simply how you choose to spend your attention and free hours every evening. The average self-made millionaire operates with approximately 7 distinct streams of income working for them simultaneously. High school taught you to put all your financial eggs in one fragile basket: a single corporate employer and a single monthly paycheck. If that single company restructures, downsizing your department, your entire financial world collapses overnight without warning. True financial security comes from diversifying your cash flow across index dividends, rental properties, digital products, business equity, and side investments. By building multiple independent streams of revenue, you create a powerful financial fortress that no single economic downturn or corporate layoff can tear down. Schools condition you to believe that taking traditional routes, getting a degree, working 40 years, and retiring on a tiny pension is completely safe. They teach you that starting a business, investing in financial markets, or venturing off the conventional path is wildly dangerous and risky. But in a fast-paced global economy driven by artificial intelligence and automation, relying entirely on one job is actually the highest risk strategy of all. If you have only one income source, you are exactly one corporate email away from complete financial devastation. Learning how to manage and mitigate calculated risks through intelligent investing is infinitely safer than living at the mercy of an employer. Making a large income means very little if you have a high expense burn rate that drains your account every single month. Many high-earning professionals, such as doctors, lawyers, and corporate executives, live paycheck to paycheck because their spending scales up with their earnings. True financial power is not determined by how much gross money you bring in, but by how much capital you keep and multiply. Mastering cash flow management requires creating automated systems that instantly route your income into investments before you ever have the chance to spend it. When you make saving and investing an automated, non-negotiable priority, building long-term wealth becomes an absolute certainty over time. The ultimate goal of building financial literacy is not merely buying material luxuries or retiring early on a tropical beach. It is about creating sustainable generational wealth and shifting your family line's trajectory for decades to come. When you master personal finance, you acquire the power to pass down assets, real estate holdings, and invaluable financial wisdom to your children. You break generational cycles of debt and poverty, replacing them with stability, opportunity, and financial freedom. School may have failed to teach you these critical concepts, but your personal decision to learn them today changes the story for everyone who comes after you. Escaping the financial matrix does not require you to quit your job tomorrow morning or make wild, irresponsible financial gambles. It begins with taking small, disciplined, deliberate actions today that accumulate momentum over time. Start by tracking every single dollar you spend for 30 days, eliminating high-interest consumer debt, and building an emergency cash cushion. Allocate a fixed percentage of your monthly income directly toward low-cost index funds or acquiring income-generating skills. Dedicate 30 minutes every single night to reading financial literature, studying market mechanics, and learning digital business strategies. Small daily improvements in your financial knowledge lead to massive, life-altering freedom over the course of a few years. Now that you know why the school system keeps you in the dark about money, you stand at a critical crossroads in your life. You can close this video, go back to your daily routine, keep relying on a single paycheck, and pretend the system is working fine. Or you can take full control of your financial destiny, Start educating yourself every day and build true wealth that buys back your personal freedom. The education system may have failed you in the past, but staying financially ignorant from this day forward is entirely your choice. So, ask yourself right now, are you going to spend the rest of your life building someone else's dream, or will you start building your own today?